Have you ever pondered the seemingly impossible scenario of an Arctic blast sweeping through the Sahara Desert? A world where the hot, shifting sands of the world's largest hot desert are frozen solid, the desert's inhabitants wrapped in a shivering blanket of frost. While it may sound like the plot of a science fiction novel, this scenario isn't entirely beyond the realm of possibility. So, how could this icy transformation occur? It all begins with a phenomenon known as a polar vortex. A polar vortex is a large area of low pressure and cold air surrounding the Earth's poles. It's always there, but its strength can fluctuate. When the polar vortex is strong, it keeps the cold air locked up in the Arctic, but when it weakens, it can send cold air spilling down into lower latitudes. Now imagine a scenario where a particularly powerful polar vortex event occurs. The vortex splits, sending a portion of that frigid Arctic air southward. Should this Arctic air mass be directed towards the Sahara, it could theoretically result in an Arctic blast in the desert. The Sahara Desert, known for its extreme heat and arid conditions, would undergo a dramatic transformation. The usually scorching sand would become a cold, hard surface, and the desert's minimal vegetation would be covered in frost. The desert's inhabitants, adapted for extreme heat and not cold, would be faced with a harsh and sudden change in their environment. However, it's important to note that such an event is highly unlikely. The Sahara's location near the equator and the influence of warm air currents make it an unfavorable destination for Arctic air. Furthermore, the heat of the Sahara would rapidly warm any cold air that did manage to reach it, reducing the potential for a full-blown Arctic blast. In summary, while the thought of an Arctic blast in the Sahara Desert is a fascinating one, the science behind it reveals that it's an unlikely scenario. The mechanics of a polar vortex could theoretically send Arctic air towards the Sahara, but the desert's geographical location and climate characteristics make it a difficult target. This captivating thought experiment serves as a reminder of the complex and often surprising nature of our planet's weather systems.